Let's relax ourselves using our breathing. Breathe in a little deeper than before. Feel how your shoulders rise and fall gently, minute movements as the breath moves in and out again. Feel the breath traveling inside, pausing for a moment and then returning out again. Imagine the air moving through you and out is like a great, quiet wave moving through the ocean, swaying you gently in an invisible current. Breathe into the four extremities of your body. Inhale and go all the way down your left arm to the fingers and the thumb, circling under the palm and drifting up once more out of your mouth. Breathe down your left leg to the sole and the heel, and allow the breath to return again upwards and out. Now inhale and travel down to your right foot. And then come back up again. Inhale and travel down your right arm, down to the fingers, thumb, the palm, and drift upwards once again. Scan for anywhere in your body as you breathe in and out where you might be feeling tired, in discomfort, and breathe to those areas a warm, golden relaxation. Breathe in openness, calm, quiet, and breathe out any tension you find in your body. Travel now up to the head. Go upwards. Notice where between your eyes is the point of view that thinks, a tiny, busy speck, so small it can be picked up on your breaths in and out. It becomes loose and begins to travel. Feel it circling, finding its way out. Imagine now that you are standing outdoors in a warm night, standing where land meets sea, on a beach that is a long silver curl with cliffs at your back. The beach is lit by moonlight. The sand around you is unbroken, smoothed by the sea. You feel completely safe here. If you turn your head and look back, there the tall cliffs rise, bright in the moonlight, and before you, there reflected over the sea, is the perfectly full moon. The waves swirl the moon's disk into thin white curls of light, flashing like electricity over the dark water. Hear the waves gently lapping. Feel the peace, the tranquility of where you are. Before you in the water, stones have risen to break the sea's surface. They're like stepping stones, each one large enough for you to stand upon easily, spaced perfectly for your stride. They form a path that you can follow into the sea. So let's walk now over this smooth sand, over to where the water is lapping, and with your bare feet, step out onto the first of these stones. Under your heel and your sole, you'll feel the smooth, cool surface of the stone. Step forwards onto the next one, and the next, and keep moving forwards over these stones that are distanced perfectly for your stride, over the calm sea that reflects the stars on either side of you. Gradually, as you follow these stones, hearing the gentle murmur of the water, if you turn to look back, the cliffs of the shore will be little more than finger high. But you carry on following these steps forwards, curious to see where they lead. At the end of this long line of smooth, perfectly placed stones across the sea, there is more silver sand waiting for us. A small isle that's about 30 meters across, its sand ghostly white. The isle is a little hill of sand rising out of the water. And at its center there is some color. A fire burns, a blazing pile of wood, sending embers into the night sky, yellow stars to join the white ones. There seem to be 5 seats around this fire, each empty, each given a long shadow by the flames. One seat is near the fire in the center, and the other 4 are placed at the compass points. Let's step onto this island now, your feet on the cool sand, and go over to that fire. It's made of driftwood that is salt dried. It burns fiercely with pops and sparks. It sends its smoke up into the sky, for a moment over the face of the moon. Go to the seat in the center nearest the fire, facing it, and sit in that seat so that your body is resting, your weight supported, and the warmth of the fire is playing over your front, your face, your chest and knees and your toes. Past the fire, the moon is so bright it's like a tunnel of light. The brilliance is intoxicating. Just as white contains all the colors of the spectrum, so you sense hints of all the colors possible now in the face of that moon. Yellow at its edges, hints of greens, faint lilacs. Before you, the warm yellow fire, popping and moving fast, and the timeless white glow of the moon. They seem to define an area of safety, a circle of light that you sit in the center of. On your left, an empty chair is waiting. If you turn your attention that way, beyond the chair, there is an energy that feels like it's forming, a sense of movement in the air, of something taking shape. You will meet 4 visitors tonight around this fire, and these visitors will be formed by your mind, given appearance and character by your own thoughts. We'll refer to them as guides. They can take many forms: human, animal, or object. They may be things familiar from your life right now. Whatever form these visitors take, welcome them into the circle with the same courtesy you'd show a guest who's come a long way to see you. So returning to this being that is forming over on your left, they've come from the side of your life that contains conflicts that makes you juggle priorities. From the side of your life where you have to make choices, and sometimes those choices are welcome. They feel fresh and free, enlightening. And sometimes those choices appear weighed down with fear and uncertainty. On this side of life, we strike out on our own and we take chances. We are responsible for failing or succeeding. And this guide forming on your left now embodies this area of your life over the last few months. And the form of this guide will illustrate this. So note now what form they are presenting as they come close. As they sit on their chair to the left facing the fire, bring your chair closer so you may sit facing them. They'll be well lit by the firelight against a backdrop of silver ocean. A guide who has been part of your entire life. Now you can talk to them here. You can ask them anything you wish, perhaps about what has challenged you from this left side of life over the recent months. You can ask for advice about the bold directions you'll take into this left area of life. 2. Observe first what form they have taken. How do you feel about the way this guide has manifested to you, given where they're from and what's been going on in your life? To find out how to talk with this guide, run through in your mind some of the left side events from your recent life. Let the emotions attached to those events flow, and then bring those to the guide, present them, and that will let the back and forth communication begin. A bridge will have been laid down. The guide may communicate through words or images or emotions. Now, by this crackling fire, take as long as you want to listen to them, to quiz them. Find out what is going on in the left side of your life and what actions the guide recommends you take in the future. Ask this guide if they will remain here with you for the rest of your time by the fire. Also ask your guide from the left side of life if it would provide you with a token, a memento in the form of some symbolic object, small enough to fit in your hand, that will help you remember its teachings, its wisdom. Ask for this and then hold your hands out, palms up, and wait for the object to be laid upon them. Thank the guide for the object they've given you, and place it near the fire, safe on the sand. Now take your seat and place it so that the fire is at your back and you are facing the empty chair at the top of the circle, neither left nor right but forwards. Sit on your seat and sense the energy forming in that direction as well. Invite the next guide in. This guide approaching, taking form, is from the future, the near future, the months to come. As they draw close, becoming visible in the firelight, Offer them the seat and notice what form they have taken. As a guide from the near future, is their form something you'd expect, or something perhaps you don't understand yet, that may take a while to decode? Make them welcome. Now you're seated facing this new guide. Again, they are lit well by the fire, and behind them is the open silver sea, the stars. This guide has come from what's ahead of you, but they exist in that future right now, even as they sit with you in your present. The form this guide has taken may reflect how you feel about your future. Perhaps simple, reassuring and easy to understand, or perhaps veiled and hard to comprehend. Over the next few moments, you will have time to talk to this guide. So once again, find the bridge through which you can communicate with them using your emotions and your thoughts, your hopes and your dreams. Then when you have connected, when you've found how they want to communicate with you, don't be afraid to ask them whatever questions are important to you about your near future. Learn as much as you can from this guide who is in that future right now. As before, ask this guide from the future if they would remain in the circle while the process continues. And ask them as well if they'd be kind enough to give to you a token, a symbolic gift that could guide you in your future. Again, something small enough to fit in your hand. Hold out your hands now to receive this. Once your hands register the weight of the object, thank the guide for it, and place it by the first object, safely on the sand by the fire. Then pick up your chair and move it so it's facing now the empty chair over to your right. Sit there and invite the next guide to join us in this circle, to join this spirit council. You sense energy forming, a change in the air, and your guide steps forwards, reveals its form. This guide is from the right side of your life, an area of creativity and play and manifestation, where we find our passions and our game-playing sides are equally satisfied. There is fun in this side of life, there is safety. Sometimes it becomes indulgent, and we hide in there in the distractions. There is also satisfaction and achievement, a sense of doing what you were put on this earth to do. This third guide is from this area of life. Make them feel welcome and thank them for joining the circle. Offer them their seat. Observe this guide, part by part. Note the manifestation they've chosen. Is this a stranger to you or something familiar? What you'd expect or a surprise? Their form will be creative. It may include puns, jokes you may only get later. Think about where you enjoy being creative. What has made you passionate and excited in life lately? Those feelings will create a bridge for this guide. Establish how you'll communicate. And then once that link is made, take a few moments here to talk to them, to listen, to be guided in directions in the future within this rich part of your life of creativity and passion. Again, let's invite this guide from the creative and manifestational side of your life to stay by the fire in their seat during this circle. Ask the guide if they would be kind enough to give you a token to remind you of their teachings in the future days. Hold out your hands for this small token. When you feel the weight of this gift, thank the guide from the right side of your life for it and place it by the fire with the other two. Now all three objects are safe in the sand. And if you pick up your chair, there's only one empty chair left for you to face. So face this one. Behind it, the stepping stones lead back in a long line to the mainland, to those distant, glowing cliffs, and to your past. In that space you sense the final guide taking form, approaching, a guide from your recent few months, the near past. Sense them getting nearer, and then they emerge in the circle, a guide representing and embodying what's behind you, what you've recently lived through. The form it takes may be recognizable instantly, or it may take a little while for you to understand why they've taken that form. But welcome them into the circle, thank them for coming, and show them to their seat. Now you are seated, facing them, and they are lit by the fire. Observe again the form they've taken, and note how it makes you feel, what associations it may have from your past. There's a huge amount of material in your recent past for the guide to tell you about. So let's establish a bridge so it may communicate with you about the most important ones. Scan inside you for how you felt about the recent past. Those feelings will form the bridge through which the guide can communicate. And as before, take a few moments in which you can ask about the past, you can query parts you don't understand, and where you can listen, receive wisdom, and ask for help. Now ask this guide from the past if they'd remain in the circle just a little bit longer while the process can be completed. and ask them in your own way if they would gift you with a small token to let you remember their teachings, and hold out your outstretched hands. Once you feel the object in your palms, thank the guide and lay that token with the other 3 there in the sand. Now you have in a line there a token from the left side of your life, the area of conflicts and choices, from the near future, linking the future and this present moment, and from the right hand side, where creativity and passions rule. And now a 4th token, a bridge to the most important aspects of your recent past. Now the fire's behind you, and the 4 guides on their chairs are beyond it, past the fire, seated in a line. They've become outlines, part obscured and part lit by the fire. A spirit council is a rare and special occasion, an opportunity for growth. In our time here, you may have thought of more things to ask of any of these 4 guides. Perhaps what one guide showed you has raised questions in you about aspects of another guide's realm. So sitting here, as the fire hisses and pops, as the moon glows overhead, you have a few more moments in which to ask any of these 4 guides any questions you might have. Now the 4 guides are rising on the other side of the driftwood fire. Thank them again in your own way, authentically from the heart, for joining you tonight in this spirit council. Bid farewell to the guide from the left side of your life, and be aware of them moving away into the darkness there, their form becoming air once again. Say goodbye to the guide from the future as they drift away in the direction of the deeper sea and dissipate into air. Say farewell to the guide from the right side of your life as they're drawn in that direction and the air becomes empty over there. And lastly, bid farewell to the guide from your past, who is already leaving, receding behind you. Now on the island, there is only yourself the fire, and the surrounding sea. Reach down and pick up from the sand those 4 mementos so you can hold them in your hands. Hold them close. The object from the left-hand guide, from the life area of challenges and choices, that can rest inside you in your left shoulder. The object from the near future, that can rest behind your sternum, a little way in front of your heart. The object from the right-hand guide, the area of passions and creativity, let's store that inside your right shoulder. And the object from the near past, let's keep that there in the vertebrae of your spine at the back. We are keeping those close so that in your ordinary waking life they can provide an internal compass. Wherever you find yourself, they can orientate to your own truth, to guide your thoughts and actions in that wide, confusing world. We have all these teachings, all this knowledge to take back to our ordinary lives now. And we'll begin our journey by sensing the breeze as it increases around us. Imagine you're becoming as light as a leaf or as a feather, and that night breeze can gently turn you on your back and begin to carry you, holding you as securely as a parent carrying a child. The island of silver sand in the dark ocean begins to fade to the background of your mind. The stepping stones in their line become tinier and further away, and instead we sense where you've left your physical body, sitting or lying down. Go over to that body now. Position yourself about an inch above it, and we'll now breathe ourselves back inside, slowly and carefully, to ensure the mental and the physical bodies are aligned once more. Breathe a little bit more deeply, noticing your chest expanding once more. And with that breath, go all the way down inside your body. Find where your legs, your toes, heels and soles are, and leave yourself down there. Leave your essence down there, so part of you is firmly back. Now when you breathe in, let's go down through the body. Find the ankles, the calves and the knees, and place ourselves there so they feel a little heavier. The next breath circles in and fills the thighs, the waist, the lower tummy. Breathe in again, and we'll go down where the ribs fan out and enclose the chest. Let's breathe in and go down each arm simultaneously to the fingertips, palms and the wrists, leaving ourselves there. Inhale again, filling the whole of the arms, forearms, elbows and upper arms, connecting those to the shoulders. Now breathe upwards into the neck and fill the head, between the ears, behind the nose, under the curve of the skull. Breathe in and bring that little point of you that thinks to sit once more in your forehead. wiggling your fingers and your toes. And when you feel you are fully back, let's open up our eyes.